Share my screen. Screen share. Screen share. Yes.
Hello. Hi, Ada.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
So I'm trying to be very good. It's all right. I'm not very much as well.
Nice to meet you. So you were a student in statistics, right?
That's true. He's not the one.
I have exam.
He's the captain.
Oh, okay.
Huh? Today for learning Python today.
Today,
Yeah.
we are building graphical user interface.
Oh, for what? For the app maybe?
It depends.
In general.
You just learn in general and you can do whatever you want.
How the?
That's not bad. Yeah, I think it can be useful for the challenge. But I think most students will go the easy way. You can use Flask and write everything for the web. You can write HTML and CSS for the front end. Then you use Python for all the logic. But we already talked about it. I'll try to make it really simple so everyone can understand.
What's your IDE? What idea?
Today I'm going to use VS Code. I'm quite sure that I don't want to make things complex. VS Code.
If you use PyCharm, I'll just really work out.
Why?
Well, who uses PyCharm?
No, but I really like how they get when IDs.
Yeah, that's why.
You know,
You always hyping. You always hyping.
Like we're new in Python, please.
don't worry. We are going to make things simple.
Okay. Just do. For Python that we have.
That's one is on Monday.
Yeah. It kills me.
I was just there.
Like we're like Python doing statistic things.
You took my laptop, you want to install something, yo, you bring the next week.
What were you trying to install?
I don't know, because you're doing some things that I was not able to do it. Huh? So I want to install
VS Code. Python?
Yeah.
Python.
Yeah.
That's why he was talking about. That's the one who's getting right.
I put it in.
Activity already. Okay.
Oh, you came for that.
Yeah.
I came for both. No. I thought that was just
Very good. Very good.
No,
Coming to the
She's very good in Python.
no.
Python.
Programming.
Any programming language. Yes.
Don't listen to him. Normally, if you came to economics, I'll be there too. This is my field. So
Okay. Then I need V and
I don't think so.
it's virtual.
6:30.
6:30.
So when am I going to?
6:30.
Right?
6:30.
So can you install it for me?
VS Code.
No.
Python.
No.
I could send you the file. Confirm.
Yes,
I can just send the zip file, right?
Monday, you're supposed to install
Python.
several, you couldn't install it.
No, but even Python, do you even have Python on your laptop? Yeah, that's the first thing. You download Python, you know.
Oh my God, I didn't bring my laptop. This is why I had the Python in my laptop.
So, like she wants to install it yesterday.
You don't need to install it. You can use. I installed. I have Spider.
Oh.
I have Spider in my laptop.
No, I don't have time.
But if you don't have
My
Python,
teacher need to help you for
They
this.
say I should bring it next week.
She tells you next
Yeah.
week.
It's all Python.
but if you just want to like use Python, you can just use it under VS Code. That way you don't have to download things separate.
Yeah.
And then you can just use a terminal to download.
That's me. Like, yeah, I prefer what is simple for beginners because
Right?
So what is the
using
simple?
terminal, you're adding extra.
Please,
complexity.
we're beginners.
What is the
Yeah,
simple?
that's what I'm saying.
All the simple for us.
So there are two things you need.
Okay.
You need to download the Python one time on your machine. Like I think they have it's like a software. You go online, you download it, it's installed. Then you need your ID. Your ID can be like, I don't know, VS Code, Python, it depends on what you insert your ID.
I don't know that come we are saying now.
No problem. I think I'll be talking about it today. I'll actually talk about it. And like after the meeting, if you want, we can stay and see what we can do.
Okay.
But I prefer you going to your teacher to install it.
They said
Why?
It said to come on Monday.
Yeah, then you go to your teacher. Why? If I do things my way and it's different from what your teacher is using as settings, you might have trouble following what he's
Yes,
doing.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So use your teacher's
Okay.
codes. It's better.
He said you bring it Monday. If you come to class early. Oh, that you can do it for me.
Yes.
It's better.
Monday I'll be in the class around 2 something.
But she doesn't came early.
And she said,
You
so
can just came early and
I'll inform you that she one time should I come? I'll inform you before I
to
leave.
install it.
Yeah.
She will help you.
I don't know, she I don't know, but still, you got about.
Okay, Grace, you want to talk about the thing you are writing in class?
No, now I'm interested in Python because it's a week I've been trying to solve problems.
Why? Is it? Okay, so okay, let's do it. No, I can't.
You when are you coming?
What? Oh, this.
So he just exactly he just asked me.
Is it?
Yeah,
You think it will be there today?
Yeah,
But I.
let me ask.
It's like.
So
when I like it's so cool. When I go to my
then when you place that you pass it, then you push it.
yeah, maybe it's like maybe it's here. I don't even know when I'm going to do it. Because sometimes when we finish, I still have some students. I agree with you.
That time he asked me, is it good for me or so don't think maybe that's thing I ask you what time are you coming here? No. It's not like just for Bible. So okay. Oh.
I don't even know how to.
Okay, so now we're doing an exercise or something?
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting. Like, because normally I'm waiting for a student. We start at 5:30, but we maybe start like 10 minutes late. So if you have questions, you can just ask me now.
I have plenty of questions about Python because I was an economics student and then now I'm applied statistics, so I'm confused about a lot of stuff. So I've been trying to learn Python from really the beginning, to trying to know what is strings, what is that, what is your arrays, lists, functions, stuff. And now because course is going like too fast, we're going from functions to what's we learned one day? We learned how to do Python in statistics, which means how to analyze in Python. Using tables.
Graphs.
It's like matplotlib.
Yeah.
Matplotlib.
Scatterlager.
Yeah, I guess you're just also using Seaborn.
Yeah.
I used to use such tools in a long time ago.
So I was wondering, like, because we will have an exam soon.
I have something for you guys. Wait. It's called Python for data science. Data. How are you? Good. How about you? So you can add my I don't know.
I can't say I'm good, bro. I'm cold.
It's not that cold.
How long have we been here?
Python for data science.
In China?
Yeah.
Or you just have there for
Yes. So
Yes,
yeah, try
it
it.
is. Import pandas as PD.
Okay, so this is not really Python basics, but this is
right?
basics of Python for machine learning. So it's going to focus on things that you have seen at school. I think I'm going to send this. So what we are going to do is that I will just write some stuff in my notes. And later, I'm going to send all these notes. I'm going to send it in the group like this.
In the group, do you have group?
So you can
Choosing what?
Okay.
Not in our class. In our group.
C'est comme hi.
Doesn't matter.
Should I join?
You can join.
Oh, from now on, we're going to use Python to do programming. You don't express it. You should teach me.
Me?
Yeah, I'm learning Python.
Dimitri, come in. The guy who
This is the first time entering.
But I don't think I'll be able to stay for the whole day.
Okay, you have something to do, right?
Yeah.
No problem. Today we are going to write code. Like if you came at the worst moment, if you want to, just you just want to hear me talking about basic concept.
Yes.
But it's still going to be basic, but I want at least us to be writing a bit of code. So you can see
What are you gonna write?
after anything, we are going to create GUIs with Python.
Okay.
So we will help to do that. Because a lot of students are like, they think that Python is always like in the terminal. So you do print, it's in the terminal, whatever you do in Python is in the terminal. No, you can actually do things outside of the terminal with Python. You can do things on the web, mobile app, server. Oh.
Yes, this is Madam.
Oh, you want
He's explaining Python.
last time I
That's
did
the
it.
reason I actually came to this.
But you don't even understand it.
I think I'll email.
You want to get it to get Copilot, right? You need to get it because they are free steps. You are only this you have a script here, but just remind me, save the details last time.
Yes.
So I will try to
Bachelor's or master?
check.
Master.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
No. Like,
Just remind me I'm here for now. Just remind me when it's
from
finished.
university.
Because how is it like you get
very much.
the student email.
Yeah, this is a master.
When you are the student email,
Your
they will
bachelor.
sign you.
Yeah.
You just use it. Then we apply free license. Because I have a student license here, student program. So you can apply and get a private license. And not only
I'm so
yes, I will resolve it.
Make it.
first year, first semester.
First year, first semester. Oh, it's in office.
What do you?
This is the those are 4 people. You are actually
Forget.
Just bit by bit. Yeah.
And you guys have payments?
So,
Yeah, very. Sometimes I actually I don't.
So I think all these
Turkey now. That's
Yes. They should appreciate everything.
because you're the only girl on the phone.
Yeah, I'm the only girl.
Well, congratulations on getting it.
You got a little congrats. Is it how?
okay.
Hi.
really.
Sorry.
We're not doing this here. She's just pretending, don't mind her.
Do you have a shirt? Oh, just a little.
Already station.
Shahal.
Just do
What
what
are you? Oh, oh, your son is country-mate.
No.
He's
Oh yeah, she's a Sarah.
Where are you from?
I'm from India.
He's a girl from Pakistan.
She's Fatma? No,
No,
no.
no, no, no.
Bro, why? You have to say that.
My name is Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
She's not the only constant here over here.
No,
Oh, there are very few.
only 2 to 3 people are from. Most people present.
So I discovered it. I'm paying attention.
You need to tell Sarah. You're from which For me? Oh, I'm from Hyderabad. The capital of India. Yeah, I'm from Central. Like the south. That my city is famous for biryani. But my city is famous for biryani.
Biryani?
Yeah.
Priyanka?
No.
This one I know. I can look so serious. I just have everything.
No, it's okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
next time I will put it. I was coming from class.
Oh, you need to try that.
I had instructions. Really boring.
So, hi everyone. Hello. Okay, I think we are going to wait a bit for students, other students to come. But today, I've already sent the details in the code. We are going to build like graphical user interface.
I forgot my name.
It's okay, it's okay.
I'm only at the basics.
No problem. I'll keep it really basic. I just want to show you guys that you can build things with Python. Because most of beginners are stuck, they feel like Python is just like you write code and you see the output in the terminal. No, you can have the output in different ways. You can even get user input. You can build web pages, you can do a lot of things with Python. So today is mainly the demo for you to see the different things that you can do with Python. Because my main goal will be to help you to develop interest for tech. And mainly programming. Once the interest is there, everything is going to be easy. It's really difficult to force yourself to do something. Then it becomes really difficult when you are forcing yourself. But when you develop like a natural interest or something, it becomes easy over time. So that's mainly what I'm going to do today. But first of all, I'll start with questions. Who has ever written code in Python? If you have like experience writing code in Python.
In class.
It doesn't mean that you're good, but at least like you have written Python before.
In class.
Zero.
No. Why? Who is taking a course where they actually need Python?
Everybody.
You don't need Python. You don't need that much. You can write this like C.
Yeah, robotics.
C and C++. Yes, Python may make a difference. Why? Because you are studying robotics, right?
Yeah.
You both are studying robotics. The thing is that you learn C. Most of the programming you do is in C, but there are things that if you want to do it will be easier to do it with Python. For example, when we talk about machine learning, it's really difficult. You can program your machine learning model with C, but we all know that C is not beginner friendly. It's going to be really, really difficult to implement things in C. That's why most people like experience in machine learning, they prefer writing everything in Python. Then you have like maybe a compilation step, like some stuff behind to make sure that whatever you're writing in Python is going to perform well on the server.
No, I think we use MATLAB.
Use MATLAB.
Yeah, for machine learning, it's the best option.
MATLAB is
also machine learning subject.
yeah, but it depends. Why? How should I explain it? I have company experience. Most of the time, it's like you learn things like school, but on site is different. You can ask most students studying applied statistics. Maybe you can do MATLAB. You can use MATLAB to do stuff, but most of the time, it's like how should I say? MATLAB is mainly used for math. Mathematics like
Math,
modeling, simulations. Yeah, because one of our teachers, he really likes an alternative to MATLAB called Octave. Octave is really like Octave, but you don't have the capability that you have in Python. In Python, you can do much more. MATLAB is good. MATLAB has its specific purpose.
no, I'm just talking relevant to my field. Machine learning and
You know Python. Don't worry. I know our friends start like doing such things. They use Python and they use R, this programming language. Most of them, they don't spend too much time doing things in MATLAB. They use like Python and R. Most of them just use Python and R. You see? So if you're doing machine learning, most of the time you'll be programming in Python or R. You can have like knowledge in MATLAB. It's really good because you can model equations fast. You can do so many things. It's easy. But when it comes to applications, people like a language that is beginner friendly. This means that it's really easy for beginners to start to begin with the language. You don't like as I say, the learning curve for Python is not as Python is not as hard as C, and you have like a lot of people creating libraries for Python. When you use MATLAB, of course, you have libraries there, but Python is really optimized for data science. I don't want to go like really, I don't want to talk too much about this thing, but maybe later we can stay and have discussions about it. But
You say it's really optimized for data science. What do you mean?
yeah, what I mean is that I'll take a simple example. Let's say that I need to build something, but you have already built something close enough to what I want to build. What will be the smartest way of building it? If I know I'm limited, I know you have built something similar to what I want to do. And I have access to what you have already built. Should it be easier for me to go, based on what you have done, modify it and get what I want? Or should I be like, no, I want to reinvent the wheel. I build everything in my house.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, we're all lazy. Nobody wants to waste time. We don't want to waste time. That's why Python is so loved in data science community. There are so many libraries. You have NumPy. If you like matrices, you can do a lot of calculations with matrices with NumPy. You have Seaborn. You have like Matplotlib. Matplotlib like this to plot graphs. So you can plot like time series. You can do so many things with Python. You have like a lot of libraries already there that you can use to do so many things. Yeah, that's why people like using Python. Of course, you can do the same thing with other programming languages, but it's going to take more time. Maybe because the community is not that big. So this means you have less libraries, less tools available, and you need to put more work to be able to develop such tools yourself, then use it. So other questions before maybe we start? I wanted to write a lot of code, but I feel it's not the priority here. The priority is that you guys get the best out of like what we are doing. It's useless if you don't learn anything. As long as you learn, I'm happy, and this meeting has a purpose. If you don't learn, we are just wasting our time here. So it's useless. So questions? Questions? Questions?
Okay, now we continue.
Look as you can do that. I want questions. Please, questions. No more questions before we start. It's okay. Okay. Questions? Questions? Okay. Then I think we're going to try to write it. We all know what's a variable, right? Variable.
Yes.
Yes.
What is a variable?
A container which stores specific
Data. Any other contribution? Variable. That's a variable.
Variables, like we use it for Python to, for example, to define something. Like, for example, I will write num equal 1 or etc. So Python will logically know what is that we're talking about. So we need to use it anytime in coding.
Thank you very much for saying we use variable so much in programming languages that if you don't know what's a variable,
set at the time.
no, not exactly. Variables are data type, are types. Variables are types, but variables are not types.
Variables like it stores something. So if you declare variable number, it stores something.
It looks like we are storing.
Actually, number is integer. Integer, because like there is variables. For example, you have an identity, your name and your surname, right? It's like Python. When you write number equal or, for example, name equal hello in string, when you will write print string, you will print directly hello.
Yeah.
It's like you define something. This is variable.
Yeah.
You need to, and each time you're writing a coding, before writing this code, you need to define a variable. Without the variables will be error.
Yeah.
Great explanation. Just give me a minute. This thing is just.
I'm far away from applied statistics, by the way. I'm just learning Python too. There was a problem.
I'm just sorry.
No, I don't know Python.
You get your
Stop.
learn your shell.
I'm learning it, yeah. And if you want to learn Python,
think
you
it's not-
need to learn
It's not
the basics how to
activating, I'm
work with
just
Python.
shell. That's okay. Okay. So you were talking about graphical user interfaces. Oh, okay. So you raise your hand if you have ever heard of graphical user interface. You raise your hand if you have ever used a graphical user interface. You have never used one.
Last time on Monday, but I didn't try it yet.
I used one in Python called Take and Turn. So you just like put in a graphic with Windows and
But you always use one, even if you have a program.
only.
When you open it, you browse a website. That's a graphical user interface.
You mean like something up or just using it?
That's just a layer that helps you to interact. Differentiate, that's good. For example, I have my screen, right? In my I have my smartphone. In my smartphone, I have mobile apps. So mobile app display is a type of graphical user interface. So you have different types of graphical user interfaces. You have seen me, I was like writing things in the terminal, right? So the terminal is a way for me to interact with my laptop. So that's also a graphical user interface. I can write ls, have a list of files and directories that are there. So I can, oh, what? Why is it stuck? That's so bad, smart. No. It shouldn't be. Okay, it's okay now. I think it was lagging. Oh, it's lagging. That's so bad. I think it's the internet connection. But it's okay. We are going to do our best to use it like this. So the terminal is a graphical user interface. Any other type of graphical user interface that you know? Your web browser. You can build websites and
Yes.
you use your web browser to see the website. So it's the same. A mobile app. So you can build graphical user interface with the mobile app.
How was the logo of the app? Is it also an interface?
Yeah, but it's you have access to the logo in the app.
Entity.
Yeah, so our goal today will be to know what are the different types of graphical user interfaces and maybe write one today Python. That's all we're going to do today. So Python is not meant for you only to write things in the terminal and see results. For example, let's say I will try to interact with a file called app.py. So what I'll do is that I'm just going to print something. Just print something. Let's say, so now I can execute my file. I'll do like Python, no, and I have the results working. So print is a function that helps me to display something in the console. That's all.
Okay, but before writing, because if I came and write print working, he will definitely not show in this. Because you already write something, you have already the file there.
Which one? Yeah, of course.
Yes, because if you just write print working, it's not gonna work.
Oh, it's not going to work. I've done some stuff before. She's right. I've like installed Python on my laptop. You have seen me. I was just showing because I don't like installing stuff directly on my machine. So I've done so many things, change stuff, install things. But you don't need to care about it for now. If you want to get started, maybe after the meeting, I'm here. Anytime you can just bring your laptop and you're going to install Python on the laptop. So for now, like, I just want to keep it simple. So what you have done is that we have created a file called app.py. A file is a normal file, like you know Word, right? You can create a file. Who knows the extension of Word files?
Docx.
Docx or doc. So it's PPT. That's PPT. So the extension helps the software to know the different types of files that you have in your laptop. Same here. Every file ending with .py will be a Python file. And I can execute any Python file ending with .py. So what I've done is that I've written Python app.py. You don't even need to memorize it, depending on the ID that you are using. Sometimes you have a button here, so you can just click on your button and it executes. But mine is not going to work because I've not configured it. That's why I'm using the terminal. So basically, what I've done is that I've put some code in the file. I'm writing Python app.py. It executes my file, and I get my output working. That's a kind of interface, a terminal. But you have other types of interfaces. Who has ever heard of ticking term in Python? You have used ticking term. Oh, I don't want to dive in ticking term, but basically ticking term will help us to write software. It's a Python library. Let me go online to see if I can find images of ticking term. But I don't like it that much because it's ugly. It's really ugly. You can see it. It's like I don't like it. It looks like software developed in the 90s.
Just for fun.
This is ugly, But you can do crazy stuff with this one. You can spend more time changing the design and stuff. But here we are lazy. You want something faster. So what we are going to do is that I will try to show you how to create really quickly web interfaces with Python. So there are different libraries that you can use to do that. I like Streamlit. Streamlit is going to be helpful for you guys studying maybe applied statistics or machine learning. Streamlit, yeah. This library. Streamlit. No, you don't need to memorize. Basically, you're studying applied statistics. You have like experience working with like time series and stuff. So Streamlit will basically help you to display whatever you are doing, you are seeing in your Python in a web browser. So we can install this Streamlit library. The same way I was talking about the example. If she has already done something similar to what I want to do, it's easier for you to take what she has already done, modify it, and get the result I'm looking for. The same way we use what we call a library. This is basically a package tool or a toolbox that I can use anytime I want to build whatever I want. So Streamlit will help us to build like web interfaces where we can display time series, you can display input, you can display text, you can display headers and stuff like this. Now, there's another library doing something similar. They call it Gradio, right? That's how we do it. That's also a similar library. With Gradio, you can do similar things too. You can build. Here is two. Is this example even working? Oh, sorry. I have like this one over here. So you have like, and then the map is this one right here. You even have an example of a chat. Is it ready? Oh, yeah, it works. So if you don't have any question, maybe I will try to implement something quick, something basic, so you guys can see.
Yes.
It's just mainly about displaying it. We can't do anything crazy today because we are, I know that some of you guys are beginners. I don't want to rush, but I want to show you the different things that you can do with Python. So I don't have a library. That's also a good thing. So this means we are going to install it together. Let me look for instructions. I go to the doc, documentation, and they'll tell me how to install it. Okay, start. Now, they are telling me here that I need to run this command in my terminal to install this library. I'm lazy. I don't want to think. Copy, paste. So I go with copy. I can also copy with a shortcut. So I'm just going to copy here, paste it here. And let's see. It's running the commands. Don't freak out. When you see such things, I don't understand. You don't understand, I don't understand. The only thing I know is that I am running the command. It's going to install my package. Whatever it's doing is like all the intermediary steps. I don't care about it. As long as I get a good output, like a good message at the end of the installation, I know it's installed and I can use that. Now, most of the time when you're running things in your terminal, depending on the versions that you are using, you can have colors. It's important to know when you have errors and how to deal with maybe exceptions. There are a lot of students sometimes, they have bugs, and they're like, Israel, can you help me? I say, okay, what do you need help with? And it's like, my code is not working. No, my code is not working. What does it mean? Most of the time when you have bugs, your code is actually telling you why it's not working. That's why it's important to not be afraid of whatever is happening in the terminal. It's written in English, right? It's written in English. It's like, download Gradio and stuff here. I don't need to know everything that is written, but at least when I see downloading, I know that it's downloading. So when you have exceptions, when you are trying to do things and it doesn't work as planned, please slow down and take time to read whatever is here. This will give you enough information to know what are the different ways that you can fix your bug. So it's still installing. Sorry guys, it's taking longer than expected, maybe because of the speed of internet connection. Meanwhile, if you have questions, you raise your hand and you ask a question. Questions? No questions? No question? So I guess like you got everything. Everything I've said like is so clear, right? No question.
I'm getting what you're doing there.
Yeah. And you can do it in your own. That's nothing difficult here. So what's the documentation? Because the first step, like when I wanted to install this library, I told you I was going to the doc. What is the documentation? So you think of what is the documentation in what we are going to try progress here. So now I know that there is no problem. I didn't see any exception in my terminal. This means the library is installed properly. So we are going to go to the next step. So I'm still in the documentation, reading stuff. And I see building your first demo. Monashi, can you read it for us?
I have a comment. Okay,
Or
wait.
building your first demo.
Building your first demo. You can run Gradio in your favorite code editor, Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab, or anywhere else you write Python. Let's write your first Gradio app.
Thank you. Don't need to write Google. Who knows Google Colab? Jupyter Notebook. So what is Jupyter Notebook?
It's a Python where you can code.
It's like IDE.
I use Jupyter.
Use
It's like
Jupyter.
this one typically, but you need to write coding and it will give you the results.
Okay, it's like this. Fine. It was IP, right? I forgot even the extension. Who remembers the extension of Jupyter Notebook files? Okay, since I forgot Jupyter. It's like extension. We are going to ask the pilots and we're going to tell us.
Yes, it's another.
Now, I mean the extension of the file.
Jupyter.
Oh, okay, it was B at the end, not W. Okay, don't worry. Just I just want to show you what Jupyter Notebook quickly, so you can see. Basically, Jupyter Notebook is just like how do I say? It's like a Word document, but the main difference is that you can have texts and codes coexist in the same file. I'm just trying to show you, I will try to show you a quick demo. It's really important for people studying statistics. It's machine learning. So basically here, let me try to write, I will try to write a cell.
So, Israel.
Yeah, go ahead.
in, for example, Jupyter Notebook.
Hmm.
That's when we paste the pip install Gradio.
No, it has. Yeah, this is really different. I'm just trying to introduce this in quickly because it was mentioned in the documentation. In case you guys don't know it.
Oh.
So you see here, that's a normal text.
But this is a comment.
Yeah, it's a comment. You got it. But it's like what I like about Jupyter is that you can. This is using Markdown. Markdown is basically a little bit like HTML but simplified. It's the same syntax that you use to be able to just write documents. So here, what I can do is that I can make it smaller. I do this, and it now is small. But where Jupyter is useful is that I can have like text and code in the same file. So I'm going to add a new cell. Copilot is just ruining my experience. Copilot is just. I'm going to add it on the here. It's okay. It's okay. So code. Here. Maybe I have to disable Copilot because this one just. No, code one. No, we code one. And I'm going to cancel. No, okay. Let's see. And it's supposed to execute. Okay, Python environment. Okay. I have to install dependencies. I'm so sorry. It's take time. Going to take time to install things. But I'm basically installing dependencies for Jupyter. I just wanted to introduce this tool to you. If you're interested, maybe after the meeting, I will try to give a brief introduction to it. But you, as a student studying applied statistics or data science, you should know that there is this thing called Jupyter where you can execute Python code. But you execute it like, it's similar to Word document, where you have like text. You can have like, oh, this is my machine learning model. You can have a description, you can describe it. This model helps people to do this, and that. Then below it, you can create what they call a cell, that is a small section where you can add code. So comments are much more readable in the Jupyter notebook rather than like when you're using a Python file here. Because yeah, comments are just comments. But in Jupyter notebook, comment can have like different font size and stuff. You can even display matplotlib files. So we are done with this thing. So for Gradio, I'm just going to copy paste the code that I got from the documentation. So I copy paste it. And let's see if it's working. I'm going to execute it again. And let's see if it works. Taking time. Why? Okay. Yeah, it's our first time like running this thing. Maybe that's why it's taking so much time. So what do we see? Well, I told you, don't be afraid of the terminal. Most of the things you see in the terminal are written in English. I should be afraid because English is not my first language. Some of you guys have better English than me, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not scared. So you should not be scared. So we are just going to read what is in the terminal. I see here running on local URL. What is URL? I think they call it uniform resource locator, right? Yes. Yeah. No need to go like to fancy uniform. I don't care. Just a link. The links that you have in WeChat. So if this is a link, what does it mean to me as I look to students? What can I do with a link?
Can take you to the
servers.
What?
To the server.
If I send you a link right now, what are you going to do with the link? Yeah, thank you. Simple. You click it. So then I'm trying to click on the link. I think what I'm doing is not going to work for you. but that's it. A link will just help me to to get access to a specific resource hosted on the internet. But here the link is actually giving me access to a resource hosted on my laptop. So what Gradio is doing is that it's creating a new local server. A new local server that's going to serve the code that I have here. So whatever you see here was generated with this code. I've not changed anything. It's coming from the documentation. So we are going to go through it like just slowly. I think I'll make it simple. I don't want this to be difficult. Intensity. I need this thing. This thing is good. Wait, what is a function?
Where is function?
What is a function?
I know. Yeah,
I don't know.
function is this actually it's integer or string?
What if I'm hiding this thing? What's a function? Can you describe what's a function without looking at what is written here?
Hello. Between its function.
Is it like a set of code that performs like specific?
Yeah, that's good. But why can't I just write my code and do I need a function?
It helps you to, if you'd like to execute something many times, it helps you just to call the function every time you would like to execute that code is in.
Exactly. That's what.
You can also make it organized. You can make it organized.
Yes. So that's all. So a function is just a specific kind of instruction that I'm going to have in my code. And this instruction will execute a set of instructions. But why is a function useful is that I can use my function to execute all the set of instructions without the need of rewriting it over and over again. It's like exponential. You know exponential? E of something. Like E is squared. The thing is that none of us know how to compute E or something, unless like you are like you're a genius, then you know. Like I tell you E squared and you give me the value. So basically in math, for example, when you use a calculator, Okay. Oh, it's not displaying it. That's so bad. I can see it here. It's not available on this side. E, exponential. You don't know how to compute exponential, and you don't need to know how to compute exponential. You have somebody, people thought of it, and they gave you a function in your calculator. So you press, you click on the button, then it calculates it for you. Is it this? Yeah. Oh, okay. So you can basically do E of 4, for example, and you put equal. I don't even know what it does, and I don't need to know. As long as I have like a specific calculation where I need E, I will just use the E that is here, is provided here. I just write E, and that's all I have the value. And sometimes you want to do things in your code where you don't have to remember what is actually there. I will try to make it simple here, because this thing is going to be very difficult to explain unless, let's say, we all know what's a variable, right? Yes. So we have like, we are going to have two numbers. Number one is a variable. What's the type of my variable? Number one. Integer. We all agree on it, right? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to pick another variable, num2. Right? I have num2. And I want the sum. How do I compute it?
Sum equal 1 plus 2.
Okay, so I have like sum.
And
Num1 plus num2. And I'll print it.
Yep.
Print is a function. We don't describe it. Print is print. Let's take it like this. So it's like maybe I'll call it num something. It's very written like this. Then I execute my code here. So now I have a result. What if I want to know the results of 2 plus 4?
Just change.
I need to change. What if I'm too lazy? Or maybe, let us make it complex. I want to know the sum of num1 plus num2 plus 2. So I can do like this, right? And I'm going to get the output if I execute it. Now, what I want to do is that I want to be able to do this same operation without repeating this line. I don't want to write it. What if I make a mistake somewhere? What if instead of writing 4, I write 5? That's where a function is useful. So we can describe the function that is going to, we can call it calculate, therefore calculate. And the function is going to have what we call parameters. What's a parameter?
So entity.
Entity. Yeah, it's also a variable, right?
Yeah, kind of.
It's a parameter variable. Why? Why is a parameter a variable?
Because the variable that we need to execute.
What is a variable? Let's go slowly. What is a variable?
Let me try.
Yeah.
A variable, for instance, if it's a car, for instance, if we are making tea, it's a car. So it collects sugar, it collects coffee, and then, okay, it stores.
It stores, right? It
Yeah, it
stores.
stores. Yeah, it stores. Okay, variable, something that stores.
Yeah, that's a good definition. That's right.
Yeah.
But a variable is something that can change normally, right? Not always. They are constants. But if I use plain English, it can vary, it can change. Function parameters can change. So they can be considered as variable. And they're actually variable. You will see, because I can actually change the value. I can do so many things with it, like function parameters. So instead of doing this, I'm not going to define my variables, but I will put them as parameters here. Num1, num2, and I will compute this operation here inside the function. And I'm going to write return. It just returns something. Nothing fancy, just return something. And I'll do the same thing, but here I will store the results that it is here. So I'm passing the numbers that I need for the calculation as parameters of my function.
When num1 is assigned to 2 and num2 is assigned to 3, value.
Yes, that's all. So this way, I can do it several times. I can be doing this. I can do this. Here I can do 4, 3. I can do 5, 3, 6, 3. I can do like 7, 7, 2. I can do it several times. That's why a function is useful. It will help us to repeat some operations without the need of writing all the code required for the operation. So now I don't even know what calculate does. The only thing I need to know is that calculate takes 2 parameters and returns me a number. Hope I've made it simple. The gap in knowledge here is yeah, and it's really hard. Sorry guys, I know that experienced people are like, why is this guy so slow? And then beginners are like, maybe they don't get it. So like we try to find what works best for all of us. So basically that's it. So we have this function create that is going to take 2 parameters, the name and intensity, that is a number, an integer if you want, and we are going to return it. Now, Gradio allows us to use a library. Here I'm importing something. This means that I'm using code that is not written in my file directly. I'm taking code from, if you want, somebody else. You remember I've installed something, right? I was installing Gradio. I basically downloaded whatever code I've written and I put it on my laptop. So now I can just import it. If you want, I can just add it to my code. That's what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to use this function that they give us. So this, I think this is the class. This should be a class. Anyway, let me make it simple. I'm using this weird syntax to create a text input, the one you see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, there. You see this text input name. So every time I'm going to write something and submit, oh, the server is down. So I run it again. Now it's running. Okay. It's going to display. I will not go through like everything that is required to make it, to force it to be displayed here. It's going to be really difficult. Now I've just noticed that we need something that works here, because I'm like I'm just staring at your faces now. Good way.
Hello.
But
Where did you get the hello?
no, it's here. The hello is here.
Oh.
Yeah. It's I'm going to give up for today because it's too much complexity. I thought it would be easy, but that's definitely not easy. So we are going to stop here with codes, and we are going to have questions. Like you guys can ask questions. I'm showing it to you because we have people writing, like participating in the coding challenge. We are basically writing an app to help the school to track attendance. So there are students participating in this challenge, and they need me to share resources with them so they can do things faster. That's mainly why I'm sharing such resources. But even if you are not part of our challenge, it can still be useful, especially if you are studying statistics or machine learning. Why? Because such libraries can help us to build quick demos. I've noticed that so many students have projects, but they're never able to display it. Let's say you have created something, I don't know, if a machine learning model that helps people to predict the likelihood of failing in studies based on the previous class performances. You can do that. It's okay, but it stays in your laptop. That's not that good. With Gradio and Streamlit, you can build web interfaces quickly and put it on the web. So that's mainly it. Now, questions. And if you don't have any question, nobody's going to leave this home. No, okay, I thought you wanted to leave. We start by you, my friend. I use his name. Sorry, do I say it right? Dynamite.
Yes.
Only one.
His name is Daniel.
Dynamo. Why does he write dynamite?
That's his name. Yeah. The one that we call him because he's a dynamite.
Yeah. Dynamite. So you were waiting for you actually. Of course, you have a boss here. So boss, do you have any question? We were talking about Python, but they're just questions. Like basically, because I know that they don't want to ask questions.
I always have questions.
Of course. Oh.
Well, I think you used to, when you start maybe class before, but you just start with the definition.
Yeah.
What?
You start with it.
You say define.
Yeah.
Like you start with maybe class before it comes to the definition and the rest.
Oh, okay. No, this is just an example. There are different ways you can do things. But I want you to define my function before using it. If you notice here, I'm using this function here. It's great. And I'm using greet. So I've defined it here before starting to. Yeah, that's it. But we have time to. I also need ideas from you guys because I don't know how to. For example, on YouTube it's different. When I create videos on YouTube, I just create videos. Like that's just because I know depending on the audience, people will follow or not follow. But here it's like you have like really experienced students, then we have like beginners, and I don't really know what to share with you guys. So I really need your feedbacks on that one. Do you want us to be like diving in code? But if I do that, I know most people are going to be like, and that's not good. But at the same time, if I keep on explaining basic concepts, experienced students will feel like they are wasting their time here. So if you have any suggestion, if you can text me later, you can say, and we are going to see like how we make I'll need to expect it. Now, questions?
How about you say the suggestions?
Now, okay, no problem. We have like, I think 9 minutes left. Suggestions here. How can we improve what we are doing? But at times you have like appropriate PPTs, like last time we had an introduction to the web. I've shown you like the different things that you have in the web. What's the backend developer? What's the front-end developer? What's the database? And what are the different kind of databases? What is the relational database? What is the non-relational database? I've talked about so many things. And as long as I keep it, like, theoretical, it's okay for everyone. But beginners don't get a place where they can actually practice. And that's what that's good.
I think maybe like after introduction, and then maybe in the next class, or if we have more time, we do the codes.
Okay, so you want me basically when I come here, I just explain concepts, and after our normal meeting time, we go to code. Yeah, maybe it's better. Then I have to prepare the topic every day when I come here. It's okay. I
have a question. Yeah. Do we have a complete application by the end of the semester, or will continue?
The thing is that it depends on you. If you stop coming, I stop coming.
No, do we do this like semester 2, or do we have it done?
That's what I'm saying. If next semester you stop coming, I stop coming. I got so many projects to work on. So it depends on you. As long as I have one student, I'm going to come. But if I come and it's empty, I'm not going to come. I'm going to stop. But depending on the weather, I was thinking of it because it's getting on 8 in the year. So it depends. If you want us to stop, you just tell me in the group you're going to stop and resume things next. It depends on you. It's up to you. Yeah.
Maybe instead of stopping, we can do like that.
Online. I know how online is.
No.
I've been the first one to sleep. I'm sleeping. When you were talking, I'd be like, no, let me just do it in my bed,
Yeah.
That's how it happened. We all know. Who had like online classes during COVID? The teacher will be alone in the meeting. And I'll be watching playbacks. And I don't even watch playbacks. Playbacks are playing, and I'm doing something else. Yeah. So online.
Pay attention.
Yeah. So if questions, any question, any question is welcome. Just ask questions. Maybe it can be like about how do I say issues that you have.
I have a question.
Yeah.
About the point of failure application, web application. I'm caring more about database. How could we get a point of that many student or many user will get